We have the Cowgirls versus the Commanders. Commanders being favored by 10.5 and the over-under being 45.5. Cowboys coming off a blowout loss to the Texans. Before that, they got blown out by the Eagles. Cooper Rush is still the quarterback for this team. Dak Prescott's out for the year. Cooper Rush is only completing 57% of his passes. He had his best game last week, but that's not saying much. He had to throw 55 times. He only threw one interception, so I guess good for him on that. But he only threw one touchdown, and he had over 300 yards passing. So I don't know. It was his best game so far, but I'm not impressed. Cowboys have the worst rushing attack in the league. They only average 81.7 yards per game. That is god awful. That's pitiful. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and they have failed to cover the spread as an underdog against the NFC this whole year. So not looking good for the Cowgirls. Washington, they're also coming off a blowout loss to the Eagles. Their offense, it's not as good, or it's not as running as good as it was beginning of the year. I don't know if it's because Jaden Daniels' ribs are broken or people are getting tape and they know how Jaden Daniels works. So keep that in mind. Their offense has been a little shaky, if you will. But they did play two teams that have good defenses. That could be another good reason why. They have one of the worst rush defenses in the league, by the way, the Commanders. But does that matter? Because the Cowboys have the worst rushing attack. So I think those things just neutralize each other. The worst rushing defense, or one of the worst rushing defenses, against the worst rushing offense. Nothing's happening, so don't worry about it. With that being said, both these teams are on losing streaks. Both these offenses are struggling. Jaden Daniels, like I said, looks like he's regressing, or it could be his rib injury, or it could be teams have more tape on him. But I think the rib injury is getting to him a little bit. Cooper Rush cannot complete the ball that well, only completing 57% of his passes. They have no run game. All they have is CD Lamb. That is it. So with all that, I think the best play is the under 45.5. If you can get at 46, take it. 46.5, shop your books. But I think the best bet's under 45.5. I don't know if the Commanders could cover this big number, 10.5. It's still a rival game, but I don't know. I'm not trusting any of these teams right now. But I think the best bet for this game is under 45.5.